Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
This is a good dude. I've heard some stories backstage or something. Yeah, but come on, if I was to pick somebody and Mick's not available, then that would be my number one pick, even at his old mental, physical limitations. I'd probably still sit down with Mick right now and talk to him.
I think with Vince, if you approached him and wanted to just say hi or hi in a photo or hi in a signature, he'd do it. Mm-hmm. I think Nikki would be like, "I'm busy," or something, and brush you off.
My peanut butter.
Yeah.
By the way, let's just bring that up. So whenever we say that, we're referencing the Billy Milano interview where he says that Scott Ian's always too busy for his fans. The funniest part of that to me is also that if you think about it, he's eating PB&J. Yeah. Is he fucking? Is he 8? Is that what Scott Ian eats?
I don't even think his 12-year-old kid eats peanut butter and jelly.
That's my point. It just seems like such a childish thing to be eating, and then be like, "I'm too busy with my PB&J."
But the one thing about Scott Ian that I've heard all along is that he as much as he would like you to believe that he struggled, his family struggled financially. I mean, they were pretty much well off. Like, he was the rich kid in Anthrax. But
I believe that's exactly what Danny Lilker said in an interview I heard.
Yeah.
He said that, I think his words were something that Scott didn't struggle for much.
No.
Well, there you go. I mean, that kind of tells you, so.
Yeah.
But and no knock on that. I mean, everybody's got their own situation, but yeah, you can see that all plays a part when you're forming a band, is who's,
he was like,
it's not just how well you can play. It's the guy we're going to add into the band because he has connections. He knows people. He has.
Are you saying he was like the Mariah of Anthrax?
Possibly, or like Eddie had to take Roth in for his PA system.
Oh, that's
in his
right.
rehearsal
That's
room.
right. Because his dad was a dentist.
Maybe Anthrax was like, well, we'll keep dealing with this Scott guy because he's got some money and some gear and a place to play.
He's got the Marshalls with the camouflage.
Who knows? But
with the camouflage Marshalls.
Well, I'm busy.
I'm busy.
But. So you brought them up, so that would be another news topic we have to discuss since the last time we all saw you all. Plush has lost a lead guitar player. Plush is now, in my opinion, flaunting it like it's a power trio. Like they're the scorned lover who's going to take photos and prove that they can do this without you.
And I think we have been having conversations on and off about kind of who the talent of the band is, and I think I've mentioned before, I thought Bella was I guess the talent of that band. She could get snatched up a lot easier than any of the other three that are remaining in that band to join an already established band and make a name for herself, similar to like Nita Strauss did with Cooper. Or, even like do maybe solo stuff like the Orianthi. I mean, she could pair herself up with a good singer. I don't know if she sings. I mean, she might. But yeah, I think more than likely she's the one that has a better shot at doing something long term. I think, yeah, you're right. I think Plush is just kind of floating out there. I think, what are we going with? Maybe 6 to 9 months, and they'll either be done and it'll be Mariah just doing solo stuff and doing TSO. Because basically this is just kind of her solo band, right? I mean, she is calling the shots, I believe. It's just kind of interesting that it's just, I don't know. I don't know that I buy that the only reason that she left, Bella left, was because of this AI artwork and stuff like that. I mean, that just seems like that was probably a good opportunity to step off and not look back. So yeah.
Yeah, it smells weird to evil. I agree with you. I think that if I would not, it wouldn't surprise me if tomorrow that Alice Cooper said, well, Ryan Roxy's stepping off on guitar, so we're going to bring Bella Perone, formerly of Plush, and put her in this spot over here, or someone else of that nature who likes to feature a female guitar player in their band. But yeah, it just seems odd to me. And then, like, for me, as a guy that's been in bands and is in a band, when you lose a band member, usually the advice I was always given was lay low, back off. Don't take band photos. You got a song or something, hold it. Don't drop it now. Wait a little bit. Get the new guy on the board. Then when you drop the song, here's the new guy, here's the song, and this is what we're doing. Not go out and take a bunch of photos as a power trio and look like we're doing it without you, Bella.
Right.
That's what it looks like in some of those photos. I'm like, what are they doing? So like that just seems like, and if you're going to do all that, then just get your audition on, get that new lead guitar player chick, and then get her in the band. But they're not doing that, which makes me wonder: are they going power trio style? I don't.
And that may be the
Mariah play.
That might be their strategy. I mean, again, less money going out. And I think there's something to be said, because I think they're trying to go toe to toe with The Warning, who I don't believe is a better band, but for whatever reason they seem to connect with the younger fans,
people more.
Yeah. And I think they have that advantage, because I think The Warning, being that they're all relatives, they're not going to fuck up those relationships. I think they'd probably just disband to save the relationships within the family, kind of a thing, versus, what's happening here with Plush. It's just this revolving door. I'm thinking the next one to go is going to be the bass player, personally.
Well, again, I said before, Ashley has her own. If you go to her Instagram, you see that she does some shows solo where she's singing and doing her own stuff. She does modeling type stuff, it appears, and all kinds of things going on. So it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. But it just seemed like an odd look. I just felt like, man, I understand you got this song with the guy from Disturbed that you put together, and you guys want to drop this, and all this product is ready to go. But if the lead guitar player just dropped out of the blue, maybe it's time to put that on pause for a couple of months and audition somebody, and then come out with all that when you got somebody ready on the lead guitar to fill the spot and go do the shows or whatever. It seems odd. It just seems odd to go around taking a bunch of pictures as a power trio doing this whole.
It's pretty
we
typical.
Don't need you, Bella.
Pretty typical of chicks, though. And not to be sexist.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying human behavior. Human behavior in general. It's like, okay, I got dumped.
Yeah.
Here's me having fun, with my friends. Right.
That's how it felt. That's how it all feels to me.
And it really is childish. In the end, it's just kind of like, okay, you do your thing and stick it to them, but do it in another way. Don't do it doing these stupid Instagram posts or whatever, TikTok or whatever it is that they're posting on. But just go fucking stick it to her. Crush it live and put out strong original material and see where that goes. I don't think it's going to happen, but they should at least go that direction.
Again, if they're going to stick it out, they need to get the spot filled, and I would keep the formation of the band the way it was. There has to be another chick lead guitar player out there who can fill the spot and play some solos. So, but whatever, that's just the Plush thing. Obviously, maybe, according to Aiken and Neely, maybe that they're on the line with Mariah right now, giving her the advice she needs.
Sure they are. Yeah, that's what they think. Vicky Vincent's available, though. I mean, get Vicky Vincent.
Yeah, well, she would
shredder.
probably step up. Yeah, right. She'd probably step up. So, a couple other final news notes before we wrap it up here on the Wrap Up Show. One thing I noticed that made me laugh was Sebastian Bach thinks that it doesn't make sense that he can't play with his bros, man. Come on, dude. Why not, dude?
Oh.
Why can't, dude, it doesn't make sense, dude. Why can't I play with Snake, man? Dude.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
Mother Trucker Rachel's keeping me out of the band, man. So yeah, I can't imagine that he's that surprised. Is he just constantly going to lobby for this every couple of months and keep trying to weasel his way back in? Is that? I mean, because that the way he's doing it is not going to garner him what he wants. Does he not get that?
It's almost, he's desperate too. And I don't know why. I mean, he put out a solid solo record. That last record was great.
Yeah. Couple of them are.
Yeah,
I thought all of the
yeah,
solo records had a few songs on them that were all pretty good. Yeah, so it
they're
wasn't
not
like he's
bad.
dumping out trash on you, and
I think,
he's gigging away. He plays a lot of shows.
and again, he's another
So
one of those guys that he does get top-notch guys in his band. So I mean, he doesn't get
mhm.
like these guys that are, half-assed performers, or that just phone it in. I mean, they sound great live. And now I didn't see him the last time he came through last year, but I've seen him two, three times prior to that, and he's always been good. Again, as the set progresses, he shows some wear and tear, but again, pretty respectable, you know.
For his age, yeah.
Yeah,
And
for
that's why I
his
just don't
age and
understand.
his
I just feel
condition,
like,
right? I mean, he's
yeah, and I feel
knows
like
what he's doing
what
before.
he's in Evil's opinion, what he's saying does make sense. It doesn't make sense that he's not the singer of this band. I get
Sure.
that, and I agree. If I was, but to get what he wants to be the singer of the band, he can't do it that way. That's not how
Yeah.
Rachel would want him to, by
No.
lobbying the public, by
And
putting himself in the media all the time, and be able to just silence on that front and behind the scenes be trying to figure out, how do I work this with you guys? How do we make business happen?
mhm.
But just getting out there and flapping your gums over and over and
Well,
over, it has to just make that bass player just say, no, fuck no, I'm not doing this.
no. And they did reissue that Revolutions Per Minute. What a piece of shit record that is.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Solinger era was just garbage to me. I did see him once live, and obviously I didn't had no desire to see it again. But out of curiosity, it's like I want to check it out just to see what it's like. Kind of like with the Theart lineup. I saw that twice. That was good. I mean, for what it was. And I don't know. I mean, I think that a Bach Skid Row reunion would slot in pretty well with a DeMartini Piercy supporting Poison.
Mhm.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that would be the way to go, and maybe throw in Tom Kiefer in there too, somewhere in the mix. Can you
And
imagine
get Bobby Blotzer on the drums,
Bobby
people.
Blotzer on the drum? But who knows? I mean, maybe that's the thing that gets Blotzer in. I mean, and then they bring back the Dancing Bear, and and then you got Cavazo already on
Poison
board.
as Poison as a headliner. The Reformed Rat is your middle
Hmm.
band there, and a Reformed Skid Row opening
Skid
would
Row,
probably
yeah.
actually generate enough ticket sales to get the size of venues they would need
Well, can you
to do
imagine?
what
I mean,
they're.
that would be a great summer amphitheater tour, and that would probably
Yeah.
fill a lot of seats and sell a lot of tickets, sell a lot of T-shirts, sell a lot of booze, sell a lot of everything.
Yep. And but again, those guys are apparently not even considering it because they're out auditioning guys that we've never heard of in some room in Atlanta right now, I'm sure. So,
Right.
or no, Nashville now. I believe they
Nashville,
live
yeah,
out
right,
based out of
yeah,
Nashville, yeah.
right.
So, but another two final news notes that I thought was odd. So Jakey Lee's going to make this appearance with Ozzy,
Oh, yeah.
but Jakey Lee was filled with bullet holes a while back. Do you guys remember? So it had
Yeah.
Evil thinking. He was already saying in this interview that some of the songs might not be able to be played because his wrist and his hands
Hmm.
are messed up from the gunshots or
Well,
whatever. So, are they going to wheel Jake in one wheelchair and Ozzy in the other and
I
park them
think.
next to each other
Well,
in
if
front of
you
the stage
you
and thrones or something?
I
And,
don't know if you listened to Ed Trunk's show, but over the past few months, he, even leading up to his inclusion in this Aussie, whatever the fuck this Sabbath thing is called,
Thing
Back to the
is,
Beginning or something like that. But
yeah.
he had mentioned he had bumped into Jake and asked him if he was playing, and he had said that he hasn't played even leading up to getting shot up. So, I'm just like wondering what kind of state or, of health this guy is for starters, and what's his performance level. Could he even do one or two songs? Who knows? But again, with this show, it's going to be streamed, and I guess it's going to be on a 2-hour delay, and most likely just so they can step in and edit shit. So if Jake fucks up, I'm sure he's going to get removed from the performance, like anybody else that screws things up. Um, I'm more curious to see if Ozzy performs, and if he does, if he's actually singing. Is he standing? Is he actually singing, or is it just kind of the vocal getting piped in somehow from the '98 reunion live album or some shit?
Yeah, or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
some previous recordings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That did make me wonder, man. Both those guys can't be in the best of conditions, and
no,
sounds like they're both trying to work their way up to a summertime appearance. But with their conditions, I did think it would be odd if they had a little
Mhm.
wheelchair section or something, or I don't know, sit
Right.
down section for some of these old cats. Another set of old cats who apparently surprised me just because I think this sounds really dumb in my opinion, and I'm surprised because, well, sometimes they've done this lately, but um, Judas Priest is going to do the Shield of Pain tour
Right.
because you need
Yeah.
invincible shield with your painkiller.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're doing
So that led
painkiller.
to
But okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
So,
I
yeah,
got
so then that led to evil thinking in my head. I was like, well, maybe in a few years we can get the Turbo Damas combination tour, right?
Turbodamus,
We
right?
get-
Yeah, I don't know how much longer they're
or
going to
Point
do
of
that.
Entry and Point of Entry and Angel of Retribution, or the Point of Retribution tour. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems
Right.
like an odd combination. First off, I like painkiller. Just give me painkiller. I don't need any shield in my
Yeah.
painkiller at all. There, Rob. Just
Well,
remove that from the. It just seems odd.
yeah, the I saw them twice on Painkiller. I saw them doing the headlining, which was great. They had Megadeth and Testament. So Megadeth was doing Countdown, great record, and Testament was doing Practice What You Preach. So again, great triple bill. And then saw him again on the Operation Rock and Roll with Cooper and Metal Church and who else? Motorhead and Dangerous Toys, I think. But yeah, there's no way he can pull any of that stuff off. Not the Painkiller era. I mean that's just way past his prime now. But I would see it. I mean, I think with Priest, it's kind of one of those things that anytime they blow through town, I always have to see it. I think the thing that convinces me to go is the fact that they always have good openers. I mean, the last go round they had Queensryche, which I would have been on the fence had it been somebody else that was kind of questionable because I'd seen him so many times. I think already to date, I think just with Andy Sneap having replaced Tipton, I think I've seen him 4 times already, and it just seems like he just took over. But yeah, I'd see that again. Just I'm out of curiosity. I don't even know who the support band could potentially be, but it would be worth checking out, I think.
If they play Painkiller, I don't I don't need to hear anything from Invincible Shield. I don't know. The
Right.
songs I heard were and there's kind of, they're not bad. They're just not
Right.
good, and they're not worthy of me going out and let me get out and see that Invincible Shield tour. And
Right.
I just is not my thing. And so I don't know, man. I guess I haven't seen him with any of these other guitar players, Faulkner or the other guy, and I don't know that I want to. Last time I saw him, it was
Right.
Tipton and Downing, and that's kind of how I kind of want to keep it in my head. And
Right.
so yeah, I don't know, and I feel like I don't know, just get over it, man. KK can still play. Tipton can't, and I understand
Right.
that. So he
Right.
can only
Yeah,
come up
yeah,
and
he's
do
done.
the couple of chords and Metal Gods or whatever. But KK can still play, and I think KK and Richie would actually be a pretty wicked combo. I don't know if I
Right.
need any Sneap at all at that point. And then you got Ian and Rob, so now it feels like I'm back in Judas Priest here. It's
Mhm.
like one guy's different. Okay, but I don't know. I just don't know if I could buy into these other guys, and then you're giving me Shield and Pain, and I don't
Yeah.
know if I need the Shield, and the Pain is not going to be what it was, like you're saying, because Rob can't sing some of those
Yeah,
songs
he
the way
can't.
he
He
sang
can't.
those songs.
No. No.
Nightcrawler and stuff like that is like got some serious notes, bro. Like,
Mhm.
how are you handling that? So
Yeah, I mean, you
so
think of all
anyways,
that
it just
stuff.
and then yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
next,
mean, they're
the next
definitely
thing
gonna do
they're going to announce
the.
they're going to do Turbo and Nostradamus together.
Yeah, I mean,
The
yeah,
Turbo Damas tour.
Nostradamus. Oh boy.
Nostradamus in its entirety. How would you guys sit through that?
Yeah, that's shit.
Um,
I think
I think the last time I honestly saw them was Angel of Retribution tour.
Oh, that was still good though. I mean,
Yeah, they were
yeah.
still good. They got back together, made a decent album that I liked, and I went out and saw that show on that tour, and that was with both the Downing and Tipton,
Right.
the guys that should be there, and so, and I just couldn't, as much as I love Rob, I just couldn't bring myself after that when they started swapping players out. And I'm not even knocking Richie. Richie seems like a great guitar player. I'm just saying it kind of felt like, I don't know. And then they got Sneap, and I was like, really more like, oh, now I really don't know. I don't know. The guitar playing was part of the reason why Evil likes to see some of these bands. So,
Yeah.
anyways, well, I think that's pretty much wraps up all the notes that I have for the last couple of weeks. It's been a while, so we're glad to catch up with y'all and bring you some bullshit, some chit chat.
Yeah, I mean, I hope
I
some
got
of
to get
the
back to the Arcada and have a couple cocktails.
I hope some of the clones point out to Neely that there can be two Carol Kays on planet Earth, and they probably are different people.
Yeah. People, sometimes there's people with the same name. I know that's
Right.
odd to you, Neely, and you know, and
There's
and
other
maybe,
Wendells.
maybe, yeah, and it's okay that someone like Maurice goes in a bar in America.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, yeah, that shouldn't be a surprise. And so, you know, well, he's too busy back here with busy back here with Dawn right now. He's in the dressing room with Dawn and Mikey. And Taylor's probably in there. So me and Sweepy are going to clean up around here a little bit.
We need to get a hold of Sweepy so we can have him pop in and say hey.
Yeah, I would like to get an interview and his opinion on Bobby Baltzer's Invitation album. And
real quick, I think you heard that episode that they had on the CMS classic episode with what was it called? Let me look. Oh, the CMS Hall of Fame Ace Frehley interview. That they played that guy, but that had a lot of good memories because a Doghouse called in twice on that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
another
was the Mad Hatter
character.
guy, right?
Yeah,
was doing the interview, right?
Mad Hatter. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
And he was his wife had a very masculine
deep voice, right?
Yeah, that was. I think that they might be in Vicky Vincent's camp now, heading over to the barn.
I think they're heading over to the barn for the end of the
meet
month.
And greet.
Yeah, meet and greet. That was
Pride Month meet and greet.
But that just goes to show you how great that show used to be. There is no way they can go back in time and recapture that shit because, where they've devolved into, I mean, now it's just kind of like the same show week in, week out and don this, don that. AI, busy
and
week.
You saw in that clip how often the phone would ring and he'd pick up and there'd be someone saying something. They would talk to him for a minute and hang up and go on. And that would, so.
I think the other thing that we kind of exchange messages about now that Chris is going to introduce the viewer video questions. So now they won't be taking phone calls because of the fact that they can't screen the phone calls and they don't know whether you, I, or Andrew,
even though I told
anybody.
him on our last, I told him on our last show, we're not calling you guys, so you don't have to stop taking call. We're not trying to grind your show to a complete fucking halt because you're worried the evil's going to call. And even if I was going to call, I will call on the video chat and you'll see this on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Wendell. I'm outside the Arcada with your truck.
With your truck.
So,
but I think that's the direction they're going to avoid taking phone calls. Is they're going to take video questions from the clones. So now you get to have Shelly Rocks ask Grandpa Neely for his favorite Don Dawkins story, and you're going to have Sal, asking stupid questions about why aren't they, why are they bashing classic rock bands? And I think it'll be good to see somebody like, let's say, Barden, right? Who's been silenced too because they're not taking calls. And also Tim James. Tim James, again, I always find his stuff entertaining because it, regardless of how much of a ribbing the guy takes, he's passionate about what he believes in. And, it does lead to good discussion and good content for them, which I think is what's happened is they're realizing, since we haven't been taking phone calls because we're afraid to, our show's really gone to shit. Is it too late to save the thing? I don't know. I mean, who's to know? Who's to say that they get good content from video messages from the clones, right?
Yeah, yeah, we don't even know. Yeah. And but they got to do something. They're reaching for a lifeline because it is generally, like I said last night. I
Hmm.
fell asleep. I don't know if I've ever fallen asleep in the
Yeah,
old days of their shows, but I fell asleep last night because they were going and on about some shit I didn't want to fucking listen to. So
yeah.
somewhere around the time, also one thing that just before we go that they brought that I thought was weird was Aiken was like mentioning how maybe Ferentinos wants to do super chats and the Seth
Oh
guy
yeah.
wants to do super chats, but they're
Hmm.
not going to do that on the wrap or the CMS show, which I'm thinking partially because they're worried that they might get a super chat from Evil that
From
says
Evil, yeah.
whatever. Yeah, but then he said that he doesn't care because he's not in this for the money, and then that had me
Hmm.
thinking, well, then why are you pumping these fucking
Hmm.
shows so full of ads, bro?
Hmm.
If you're not in it for the money, why is there a locals? If you're not in
Right.
it for the money, why are you telling people they got to pay for this to get that and do this to get that?
Well,
What?
and
So
it
why
is,
would you care if Eric and Seth want to
yeah.
make a few bucks on the super chat? You're over here pumping one episode, literally. Listen to it,
Hmm.
guys, on Rumble. Listen on the playback, not the live stuff. Listen on a
Right.
playback. Between the ads you're going to get, if you're not subscribed to Rumble, the ads you're going to get on Rumble on their own, on top of the ads that Aiken puts in there. And he puts an ad in there every 10 to 15 minutes
Hmm.
for a book, for something, for whatever he's promoting.
Right.
And so I'm just telling you, it gets to the point where it's like, God damn, I can't listen to this.
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
I,
It's tough.
doesn't make sense.
And yeah, I think with that too, it'll be interesting to see if and when they incorporate those video listener viewer questions and whether that helps them move along because right now I mean
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really stagnant and boring and I think they've pinned themselves into a corner pretty much. I mean, even with the racist shit, he's toned it down. I mean, yes, he still uses certain key terms and stuff like that, but overall, he's toned it down a little bit. But it's just kind of like you're still moving forward with that type of dialogue and the sexist shit and the rating women, and it's like again, it goes back to it's like anybody walking into that room and overhears that, they'd be like, "What? These guys are rating women? These guys are rating women?" You know, um, that's funny, but that only takes you so far before it just becomes stagnant too. It's kind of like with the Stern model when he used to bring in the panel to rate the women from 1 to 10, and after a while you do that enough and it's like okay, it's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. It's like, okay, here's a fucking rabbit again, you know and that's kind of where they're
Yeah.
at. Yeah.
And I hate to say this. I hope that the creation of evil in the wrap up show has not been the reason why they've slid to a fucking grinding halt, because that wasn't the
well
intention of our show.
well
Our
I
show is just to give us an opportunity to talk about the shit we want to talk about that they wouldn't talk about,
yeah.
and to kind of get our show hopefully back to some more music related topics and less of the cultural, societal fucking bullshit that goes political stuff that they were getting into. So.
Yeah, and they quickly jumped on that political thing yesterday, and that's a snooze fest. It's like, yeah, I don't want to listen to that, regardless of what angle it is, right? I mean, whether you agree with it or not. It's like, well, you want to get away from that. You wanted to get entertainment. Entertainment isn't talking
I
politics necessarily.
Most of the entertainment for their show came from music related topics
Right.
involving third parties who had wild takes or stories or things
Hmm.
we didn't know or details that had yet to be revealed that you only found when you listened to the CMS,
Which, guess what?
or
I mean,
shows of that ilk, which there
yeah.
was only a few of those back in those days. So I will give Wendell credit for that. I mean, and then
Hmm.
if you think about it, he was probably seeing the curve long before most other people were by doing what he's doing. But it has kind of run its course and they need to do something to jumpstart it. So, again, Andrew's not calling, Evil's
No.
not calling, Ruben's not calling. You
No.
didn't answer the emails. We invited
Right.
you on our show, both of you, and
Right.
that's never been replied to. So what can we do?
Right.
We're doing our own thing. So
Right.
we'll do our
Yeah.
commentary when we watch you guys, and that's where it sits for me. So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. And yeah. 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 But I do think it did.
not much more we can say about
It did. It did throw a curve their direction, and I think it it shows. I mean, I think part of that too is the fact that, I think we've done a little stuff, some things behind the scenes here that got Wendell's attention, and it's like, oh shit, but again,
Which again is all surprising to me because for years they railed on other shows and had their
Mhm.
battles with other
Well,
shows where
just-
they were swapping dialogue and talking
Mhm.
shit and then having them on the show and and so I just thought we would end up somewhere in that category as some
Well,
show
just-
that bumped up into them
Yeah.
at one point in time. And
Yeah.
so
I mean, just think of that.
they took it way
episode-
more personal than I ever thought they would.
Right, right. And just think of that episode that I just referenced, the CMS Hall of Fame, the Ace Frehley one with that guy that was interviewing Ace. I mean, that's a perfect example of them, playing the clip and railing on the guy. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, I think that there were some funny aspects to that conversation that guy had with Ace, and it was kind of spinal tappy at times. But why is that okay, and why is it not okay for them to become the focus? I just think that's kind of, again, for guys that don't care, it sure seems like they care a bit, a little bit at least.
Yes, there is some thin skin, not thick skin like Skid Row. There's some thin skin going on
Right,
over at the,
thin skin.
at the CMS, and I don't even know how much of it's Aiken. I just don't think he cares too much. He's doing.
I don't think
shit,
so.
but I think there is someone else who's on
that's
on,
bankrolling
who's in
the
who's in
operation.
My
Yeah,
familial lineage. Yeah, my familial
bankrolling the
lineage here.
operation.
My father's other offspring is very sensitive.
I think the other thing too that was clear to me was with this Carol Kaye thing. I think we kind of beat that one to death, but Chris knows that that's not the same person. I mean, he's got to know, and he didn't step in and go, no, Neely, that's the wrong person. He just let him go and go and go and go, and and then before you know it, I've exchanged emails with her, and and this and that, and then he berated her meaning the publicist, who he's really referring to the Wrecking Crew bass player. I mean, he's just a fucking dipshit. Like, I mean, he could have, and in the end, I don't know, maybe Chris doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't care if he wrecks that relationship, because, stuff like this gets back to people.
Yeah, and I just, again, like the first time it happened, which was a show or two ago, they brought this lady up before, and they mentioned that, and I thought, that's not the same person. That can't be right. That's not the same person. And then I thought, when they brought it up on this show, I thought for sure, here's Aiken's opportunity to say, oh no, we had that wrong.
Right.
These are two different people, Neely. Just so you know, there's the one that you're talking about, the email, that's not the same person as the one you're doing the story on. That's all he had to say. He never brought it up. So either he doesn't know, or he doesn't care, or he wants Neely to just shove his fucking foot down his throat and watch him do it. And I guess maybe provide
you
some
recall,
ratings. I don't know.
I think I'll refer back to one of the comments somebody made on the Facebook page, was like, this show is being destroyed from the inside. and maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. I'm not in Chris's head, but if I'm Chris, I'm thinking, I'll let this guy implode things, because I think he's kind of he's diluted himself so much that now he can focus on Slow Seth, or the whatever the show he does with Ferrentinos.
Cap with Ferrentinos.
And then he's doing that fruity soccer podcast, and I'm sure he can do other stuff. I mean, the guy seems to have all the time in the world to just fuck off all day and get his camera time. Neely just has that one day, that one night, and he needs all 6 hours of it. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I do. That definitely feels like it's Neil's that's pushing the get back on Saturday night and get on camera, Aiken. I don't think Aiken's dying to do that.
No.
I think Aiken would be more than happy to change the show date or the amount of time they're actually doing the show, et cetera, et cetera. So.
Right.
Well, we'll see how it plays out, and we'll see what other rock news breaks over the oncoming week. It seems like 2025 is just fucking out of control, and shit keeps getting weirder and changing all the time. So, we'll keep you all posted. We're gonna hope that Vince Neil is a-okay.
Right. Yeah, no
We're
kidding.
gonna say I want to thank my personal friend, my former employer, Vicky Vincent.
Vicky Vince. Yeah, right.
She paid me back in the 80s when I needed a gig as a young man, and helped let me roadie at a very young age, and taught me the ropes, and showed me what a pink outfit could do on stage. And so we want to thank her for coming on for Pride Month. And I got to get back to the Arcata Theater with Sweepy here. And
Sweepy.
I got, well, hold on, which way I got to point this way? I got Neil's truck right here. So I brought him around.
Over there. Yeah.
And we're going to load him and Dawn in there, maybe Taylor and Mikey.
No.
We'll head over to a Quaker Steak and Lube, and we'll get something to eat. That's probably what we're going to do.
There you go.
So chit-chat with our friends, have a couple cocktails,
Maybe you'll run into Maurice.
Maurice. He's a carny. He's got small
carny.
hands.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's busy.
Yeah.
All right.
He's out working the Ferris wheel right now over at the Chicago Fairgrounds.
Nice.
All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all next week, and we'll see. We might have a couple of other guests. Some you might be familiar with. Some that be coming back on here and discussing some things. We'll see what we can schedule up, and well, I'm sure someone will quit some band or something will happen in the next 7 days. I'm sure. So.
Right.
All right, y'all.
Right.
It's good talking to you. I'm glad you're safe from the fire there, Rube.
Yeah. I'm going to be barbecued.
All right. Yes. Well, and you just keep everything like in totes or boxes, and throw them back in the truck if that fires. Because we're it's only June. We still got 2 or 3 more months. Of this
no shit. Right? There's still more months. 3.
Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Fire season for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Be safe out there. All right. CMS Wrap Up Show. Bye, kids.
Bye.
Raise your horns high.